Wakefield farmers Daryl and Karen Trafford have moved from traditional dairy farming into artisan cheese and milk production. The Traffords began producing their own brand of gourmet cheese under the Wangapeka label after noticing a ready market in Nelson for good, locally produced food.
We've got 190 hectares here in total, and we milk between 50 and 60 cows through the summer and 35 cows through the winter. We rear all our own progeny and take that through, either sell them as yearlings or as 2-year-olds. When we first came up here, we started off with crossbred cows. Then we delved into the longhorn. Good cow, good milk, but just didn't get the quantity. So we had a young French guy working for us, a cheesemaker, and he put us onto the Normandy cow, French, and it's a French Simmental, basically. It's a cousin to the Simmental. Really good milk for cheese. And the upshot of it is, being a beef cow, we rear all the progeny. So that's what we're looking at. We need to get value out of the progeny. We'll carry all that progeny through to 2-year-old and then send them off from there. We do a bit of grazing, just to fill a gap really, but our core business is making cheese. We manage our whole product right from the pasture, right through to the end product that goes out the factory. We're in charge of it all the way, which is good and bad, you know, but it's a great feeling to put a really natural product out there and the feedback you get from it. We don't get negative feedback, it's all positive stuff. It's not all beer and Skittles though, you know, you're marketing your own product, so to come from a cow cocky and be doing this, it's been a really huge learning curve. But, you know, we've had some good help along the way, you know, so yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's really good. We are biodynamic. We don't use any fertiliser treated with acid. We don't use any nitrogen. Basically, RPR and dolomite are our key, and our pasture is a herbal lay. It's not your rye clover mix. It's ryegrass, white red clover, cocksford, plantain, chicory, yarrow, and we try and steer clear of the real flash hairy ryegrass. You know, we want something that's going to stay in the system. When we built our factory, we thought it was huge, and now it's not big enough. Some of that cheese is cellared for 12 months. So, yeah, we will grow our business more yet. Probably export is the next thing for us.
I went along on a cheese course and I just sort of took note of the people there, what they wanted, and I looked at what we were doing. A big thing for me is sustainability of our future, is developing something that my grandchildren can enjoy. And going to those courses was to see that you could develop a business within our domestic market. People's availability to what we produce in New Zealand, it's so exported that they don't get that availability to it. So I just saw that thing there where if we could bring something in underneath and talk to people about it, how we produce it, where it's from. It didn't have to be huge, it didn't have to be 1,000 cows, it was just boutique. And that's really where the idea came from, is people's passion to be able to get my product. This is our cheese factory. We're about 20 metres from the cow shed. Every morning the cows come in, we milk once a day. We start milking at 7 o'clock. The milk's pumped directly into the factory and we start production fresh. Hi Sylvia.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going this morning?
Good. The milk is pasteurized.
Some days we make cheese, some days we bottle our milk, some days we'll do a different product, but our whole thing is about using that milk lovely and fresh and getting a top-end quality product with it. Our current volume through the factory at the moment is we're milking 50 cows, which is giving us around 500 to 600 litres a day. Our range of products is quite diverse. Starting off in this industry, you've got to develop a cash flow if you're making cheese, because it does take time for cheese to be developed. So our range of products to develop our cash flow was in fresh bottled milk, yogurts, kefir, lots of things like that. So we got that constant cash flow while we were developing, a bit like winemaking, you develop your cheese and you fine tune it and then take it to market. We're not big enough in here to be able to cope with our range of products. We've found now that we've got to separate out our fresh, and with the growth that we incurred with our fresh, we couldn't do both cheese and fresh. So we've had to, unfortunately, cut right back on our growth in fresh and concentrate more on the cheese. It is a very fast-growing industry, artisan cheeses in New Zealand, and I think a lot of people are aware of where their food's coming from, and no, we couldn't keep up with growth, so unfortunately we've cut back. Getting and retaining good staff is fine. There's a lot of people interested in New Zealand in the industry, but we don't have the IP, the intellectual property, as in cheesemakers. We do in commercial factories, but in an artisan level, we don't have the IP. So we do source IP from overseas. It's a lot easier for us to bring in that IP. They've got hundreds of years of intellectual property and what we can bring over. Our cheesemaker today is Silvia Freddi. She's from Italy and she's been with us 12 months and she's an absolute whiz. We've learned an awful lot from Silvia, especially to do with cultures, which is amazing for us here. We do have apprentice cheesemakers and it really puts them on the right foot from the beginning. I'd like this sort of model to be looked at as maybe in the future to export. I think we've got, but more as a co-op, joining up with other people within the industry and exporting a top-end product. Maybe the concept being taken a little bit further and dotted throughout New Zealand, or talking to farmers who are struggling and having it an added on value into their dairy operation.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.